Welcome to tonight's bedtime story, The Iguana's Inn. Join us as we delve into tales from a wise old iguana, basking under the warm sun on a serene tropical island. Through his sun-soaked wisdom, our friend the iguana will share timeless lessons about patience, timing, and the simple joy of soaking in life's most precious moments. Whether resting on a sunlit rock or watching the world from the branches of a lush tree, the iguana's stories will help us appreciate the slower, quieter parts of life. So, get comfortable, let the day's worries drift away, and prepare to bask in the warm, gentle wisdom of our insightful iguana. The iguana's insight. The awakening of the village. In the heart of a village, shrouded in an eternal twilight, where the sun neither rose nor set, a remarkable event unfolded. One day, without warning, a vibrant iguana, adorned with scales that sparkled like jewels under the dim light, made her way into the village square. The villagers, unaccustomed to such vivid displays of color and life, gathered around in awe and wonder. This iguana, who would come to be known as Iliana, possessed an aura of warmth and wisdom that seemed to radiate like the sun itself. Iliana, with her gentle eyes and calm demeanor, spoke to the villagers, not with words, but with an understanding that transcended language. She invited them, with a simple gesture, to follow her to the riverbank, where the light of their twilight world glimmered softly on the water's surface. The villagers, intrigued and captivated by this mysterious creature, followed without hesitation. As they settled around her on the soft grass by the river, Iliana began to share her stories. She spoke not directly, but through the universal language of the world around them. The whispering of the wind, the flowing of the water, and the subtle dance of light upon the earth. The villagers listened, enraptured by the tales of land far beyond their imagination, where the sun rolled the sky, bathing everything in its golden light. Through her stories, Iliana painted a picture of a world filled with warmth, growth, and the joy of basking in the sunlight. She spoke of the lessons the sun taught, patience as it journeyed across the sky, timing as it rose and set with unerring rhythm, and the importance of cherishing each moment of light and warmth. The villagers, who had known only the perpetual twilight, listened with a growing sense of wonder and longing, but not all were swayed by Iliana's tales. The village elder, a figure of authority and skepticism, watched from the edges of the gathering. He had seen many seasons come and go, all unchanged, and the idea of a world governed by the sun seemed as fanciful to him as the stories of flying fish or singing trees. As the first gathering came to a close, the villagers dispersed, their minds alight with visions of sunlight and warmth. Iliana remained by the river, her presence a silent invitation to look beyond the twilight, to imagine a world illuminated by the sun's embrace. And so began the awakening of the village, a transformation sparked by the arrival of an iguana who carried the sun's wisdom in her heart. The villagers, once resigned to their dim existence, now harbored a flicker of hope, a desire for the warmth and light they had only begun to imagine. As the days passed, whispers of Iliana's arrival and her stories of sunlit land spread through the village like a gentle breeze. The villagers, their curiosity piqued, eagerly awaited her next gathering. When at last the day came, they assembled by the riverbank, a tapestry of anticipation and wonder woven among them. Iliana greeted them with a warmth that belied the coolness of their twilight world. She began her tale, speaking of a time when the earth was young and the sun, a mighty guardian of the sky, embarked on its journey each day with a promise to return. Her voice, though silent, filled the air with a melody that resonated within the hearts of all who listened. The sun, Iguana conveyed through the rustling leaves, and the gentle flow of the river, teaches us the importance of patience. Each morning, it rises, not in haste, but with a steady grace, reminding us that all things come in their own time. The villagers, entranced by her narrative, saw in their mind's eyes the sun's golden rays piercing the veil of night, bringing warmth and light to a slumbering world. They imagined the flowers opening their petals to greet the morning, and the creatures of the earth stirring from their rest. Patient, Iguana continued, is the key to understanding the rhythm of life. Like the sun, we too must learn to rise with purpose, to embrace each moment with a heart full of warmth and a spirit ready to shine. As the gathering drew to a close, the villagers felt a shift within them. The stories Iguana shared were not just tales of distant lands and ancient times. They were lessons woven into the very fabric of their being. The concept of patience, of waiting for the right moment, began to take root in their hearts. Among the audience, the village elder remained, his skepticism as steadfast as ever. Yet, even he could not deny the subtle shift in the air, the way the villagers' eyes sparkled with newfound hope and wonder. As they dispersed, returning to their homes under the twilight sky, a sense of unity began to emerge, a collective yearning for the warmth and light of which Iguana spoke. And so, the first gathering became a beacon, a point of light in the perpetual dusk of the village. Iguana, with her stories of sun-soaked wisdom, had planted seeds of change, nurturing them with tales of patience, timing, and the joy of basking in life's fleeting moments. In the days that followed, the village by the river bank began to change. The villagers, once resigned to the dim light that enveloped their world, now gathered daily to hear Iguana, the iguana with scales that shimmered like the sun. Each story she shared was a thread in the tapestry of wisdom she wove, teaching them about the beauty of life's ebb and flow. One afternoon, as the twilight cast a soft glow over the land, Iguana told a tale that would remain in the hearts of the villagers for generations. It was the story of a young tree that yearned to touch the sky. The tree grew impatient, resenting its slow pace of growth, envying the birds that soared above its branches. The tree, Iguana narrated, her voice a gentle breeze, learned the hardest lesson of all, the value of time. For it is in the passing of seasons, in the patience of standing still, that we truly grow, not just upwards towards our dreams, but inwards into a strength. The villagers listened, spellbound, as the iguana spoke of the tree's journey. With each season, the tree's roots delved deeper into the earth, drawing strength from its connection to the land. Its branches, once reaching impatiently towards the sky, began to provide shelter and shade to the creatures below. Through this tale, Iguana imparted a lesson that resonated deeply with her audience. She taught them that patience is not merely the act of waiting, but the art of growing through the seasons of life, of finding strength in stillness, and of understanding that every moment, no matter how fleeting, is a step on the journey of growth. As the story came to a close, the villagers felt a profound shift within themselves. They began to see their twilight world not as a place of perpetual dusk, but as a canvas of endless possibility, waiting patiently for the strokes of light and warmth to bring it to life. Among them, the village elder listened, his skepticism slowly eroding like the banks of the river that flowed tirelessly beside them. Though he had lived many years, the wisdom Iguana shared was like a new dawn, challenging his beliefs and opening his eyes to the lessons hidden in the fabric of life. The gathering by the riverbank ended, but the lessons of the day lingered in the air, carried on the whispers of the wind and the flow of the water. The villagers returned to their homes, their hearts lighter, their spirits brighter, and their minds open to the endless possibilities that patience and time could bring. And so, through her lessons by the riverbank, Iguana, the sun-soaked iguana, began to weave a new tapestry of life for the village, one rich with the colors of hope, growth, and the gentle warmth of understanding. As the village under the twilight canopy began to hum with the whispers of change, not all hearts were swayed by the gentle wisdom of Iguana, the iguana with sun-kissed scales. Among these was the village elder, a figure as steadfast and unyielding as the ancient trees that bordered their land. His skepticism, rooted deep within the soil of tradition and the unchanging ways of the past, remained a barrier to the light Iguana sought to spread. One evening, as the villagers gathered to bask in the afterglow of Iguana's teachings, the elder stepped forward, his voice, heavy with the weight of years and the dust of skepticism, broke the harmonious silence. "Iguana," he began, his tone a mixture of respect and doubt, "you speak of sunlight and warmth, of patience and growth. Yet, our world remains cloaked in how do these tales of a sun we have never seen bring change to our lives?" The villagers, their newfound hope flickering like a delicate flame in the wind, turned their attention to Iguana. The elders' challenge, a reflection of their own buried doubts, hung heavily in the air. Iguana, unfazed by the weight of skepticism, replied not with words, but with the serene confidence of one who has basked in the very essence of sunlight. She beckoned the elder and the villagers to follow her to the edge of the village, where the twilight kissed the earth with its muted embrace. "Elder," Iguana addressed him, her tone imbued with the warmth of 1,000 sunrises. "The lessons of the sun are not in its immediate light, but in the patience it teaches us. The sun does not rush to dawn, nor does it hasten to dusk. It follows its path with a steady assurance that each moment is a part of a greater cycle." She paused, allowing her words to seep into the hearts of those gathered. "Our village, much like the sun, is on a journey. The change might not be swift, but with patience, we can learn to embrace each moment, to find warmth in our bonds and light in our shared hopes." The elder, his skepticism a shield long held against the uncertainties of life, found himself at a loss. Before him stood not just an iguana of sunlit tales, but a mirror reflecting the potential for change within himself and his village. Iguana's gaze, gentle yet unwavering, met the elder. "Give these lessons time, as the sun gives time to the day, and you will see, even in our world of twilight, how patience can bring about the dawn." The gathering dispersed, leaving the elder in a contemplation as deep as the twilight that enveloped their village. Iguana's words, like seeds of sunlight, began to take root in his heart, challenging the frost of skepticism that had long claimed it. And so, the disbelieving elder, confronted with the possibility of change, stood at the threshold of a new understanding. Iguana's teachings, a beacon of patience and hope, began to illuminate the path forward, not with the blinding light of immediate change, but with the gentle glow of gradual awakening. In the days that followed the elder's confrontation with Iguana, a subtle yet profound transformation began to take root within the village. The villagers, inspired by Iguana's serene confidence and the wisdom of her tales, started to embody the virtues of patience and hope she had so eloquently shared. Yet, it was the elder's journey, sparked by Iguana's challenge, that marked the true beginning of change within the heart of the village. One morning, as the first light of dawn brushed the edges of the twilight sky, Iguana gathered the villagers once more. Among them was the elder, his presence a testament to the curiosity and budding hope that had begun to displace his long-held skepticism. Iguana spoke of a forest that lay beyond the mountains, where the trees grew tall and wide, their canopies intertwining to form a roof over the earth. These trees, she explained, did not reach their majestic heights overnight. It was the patience of the earth, the rain, and the sun that nurtured them from saplings into the guardians of the forest. The villagers listened, their imaginations taking flight as Iguana painted a picture of a world governed by the slow, steady rhythm of nature. Like these trees, our village too can grow and flourish, not through hurried change, but through the patience to nurture and wait, to believe in the potential that lies within each of us. The elder, moved by Eliana's words, found himself reflecting on the nature of change. He had expected immediate transformations, a swift departure from the twilight that had defined their lives. Yet, here was Iguana, teaching them that the true essence of change was not in its speed but in its depth, in the slow unfolding of potential that required time and care to come into being. In the weeks that followed, the elder began to witness the subtle shifts within the village. Where once there was resignation to the unchanging twilight, there now existed a collective effort to embrace each moment, to find joy in the gradual lightening of their world. The villagers, encouraged by the elder's newfound openness to Iliana's teachings, began to share their own stories of patience and hope, weaving a rich tapestry of communal wisdom. As the season turned, marking the passage of time in a world where day and night held little sway, the elder approached Iliana. In his eyes, there was a light that had not been there before, a reflection of the journey from skepticism to understanding. "Iliana," he said, his voice resonant with the depth of his transformation, "I see now the value of the lessons you have brought to our village. It is not the sun itself that we needed, but the warmth of its wisdom to nurture, to wait, and to grow together." The challenge of patience, once a barrier to the elder's acceptance of change, had become the bridge to a new dawn for the village. Under Iliana's guidance, the villagers had learned to see beyond the immediate, to understand that the true measure of growth lay in the ability to embrace each moment, to find strength in stillness, and to await the unfolding of time with open hearts. And so, as the chapter of their awakening drew to a close, the village stood on the cusp of a new era. No longer bound by the twilight, they moved forward together, guided by the insights of an Iguana who had taught them the beauty of basking in life's moment, the virtue of patience, and the infinite possibilities that lay in the timing of the natural world. As the season of transformation gently unfolded, the village, once cloaked in perpetual twilight, began to bask in a new kind of light, a warmth that emanated from within. Iliana, the Iguana, whose scales glittered with the wisdom of the sun, had woven a tapestry of change through her tales of patience, timing, and the sanctity of life's fleeting moments. The final gathering of this season brought the village together once more, a community united in their newfound hope and understanding. The air was filled with a palpable sense of anticipation as Iliana took her place by the riverbank, the villagers encircling her, their faces alight with the reflections of their inner transformations. The elder stood among them, no longer a figure of skepticism, but a beacon of the change that had swept through their hearts and minds. Iliana's voice, as ever, was a whisper on the wind, a melody that carried the weight of the final insight she sought to impart. "My friends," she began, her gaze sweeping across the faces before her, "we have journeyed together through the lessons of the sun, embracing the virtues of patience and the beauty of each moment." She paused, allowing her words to settle like leaves upon the river's surface. "But the greatest insight of all," she continued, "is the realization that the light we seek is not beyond the horizon, but within us. It is the warmth of our community, the strength of our unity, and the glow of our collective spirit that illuminates our path forward." The villagers listened, their hearts open and receptive, as Iguana spoke of the light within, the potential for growth and change that resides in each of them. She told them that the twilight that had defined their existence was not a barrier but a canvas, upon which they could paint the dawn of a new day with the colors of their hope, love, and unity. As the gathering drew to a close, the villagers, moved by the depth of Iguana's final insight, felt a shift within the very fabric of their being. The twilight, once a symbol of unchanging stasis, now held the promise of endless possibility. They understood that the journey of transformation was not about awaiting the sun's external light, but about kindling the flame within, a flame nurtured by the lessons of patience, timing, and the sacredness of life's moments. The elder approached Iguana, his expression one of profound gratitude. "Iguana," he said, his voice echoing the sentiment of the entire village, "you have opened our eyes to the true essence of light. It is not something we wait for, but something we create, together, through our belief in change and in each other." With those words, the villagers gathered around Iguana, the unity a testament to the power of her wisdom. They pledged to carry forward the lessons she had imparted, to nurture the light within, and to spread its warmth throughout their village and beyond. As the stars began to twinkle in the twilight sky, Iguana looked upon the faces of the villagers, her heart full. She knew her time with them was drawing to a close, but the insights she had shared would continue to guide them, a legacy of light in a world awakening to the dawn of a new understanding. And so, the chapter of awakening closed, not with the setting of the sun, but with the rising of a village, united in the glow of their collective insight. The twilight remained, but within it danced the light of 1,000 possibilities, a beacon of hope for all who believed in the power of patience, the beauty of life's moments, and the transformative warmth of the sun's eternal wisdom. The quest for the sunstone. As the new dawn of understanding settled over the village, Iguana, the Iguana, whose wisdom had illuminated the hearts of many, gathered the villagers once more. This time, her tales carried the weight of a secret long held, a legend that whispered of hope beyond the twilight, a hope in the form of the sunstone. Beneath the canopy of stars that adorned their twilight sky, the villagers listened intently as Iguana began to weave the tale of the sunstone. In the heart of the mountain of reflection, she began, her voice a gentle echo in the stillness of the night, lies a gem of unparalleled beauty, the sunstone. It is said that this mystical gem holds the essence of the sun's light, a light so pure and so warm that it has the power to bring daylight to our world. The villagers, their imaginations ignited by the possibility of a world bathed in sunlight, leaned closer, hanging on every word. The sunstone, Iguana continued, was placed in the mountain by the guardians of the sun, beings of light who understood the balance of day and night. They knew that one day, a village shrouded in twilight would seek the light, and so they left the sunstone as a beacon of hope. Iguana's gaze swept across the faces before her, each alight with curiosity and wonder. To retrieve the sunstone, she said, is to embark on a quest not just of distance, but of the heart. For the mountain of reflection does not reveal its secrets easily. It mirrors the heart of those who seek its treasures, showing them not what they wish to see, but what they need to understand. A murmur of excitement and apprehension rippled through the crowd. The quest for the sunstone was not merely an adventure. It was a journey of self-discovery, a test of their courage, their faith, and their unity. Iguana, sensing their resolve, offered her guidance. "I propose that a group among you, brave and true of heart, Embark on this quest to retrieve the sunstone. Together, you will face the challenges of the mountain of reflection, and together, you will bring the light of the sun to our village. The elder, once a skeptic, but now a believer in the power of change, stepped forward. "Iliana," he said, his voice steady and sure, "your wisdom has guided us from the shadows of doubt to the light of understanding. We will embark on this quest for the sunstone, for our village, and for the dawn of a new day." A sense of unity and purpose enveloped the village as volunteers stepped forward, each willing to face the unknown for the chance to bring sunlight to their world. They were a diverse group, from the swiftest of the young to the wisest of the old, each bringing their unique strengths to the journey ahead. Iliana, her heart full of pride and hope, looked upon the chosen ones. "This quest," she said, "will be your greatest challenge, but remember, the light you seek is not just in the sunstone, but within each of you. Let the lessons of patience, timing, and unity guide you, and the light of the sun will find its way to our village." And so, as the stars bore witness, the quest for the sunstone began, a journey that would test their limits, reveal their true selves, and ultimately lead them to the light they so dearly sought. The legend of the sunstone, once a whispered tale of hope, was now the beacon that would guide their way. As the first light of dawn mingled with the twilight, casting a soft glow over the village, the chosen group gathered at the edge of the village, ready to embark on the quest for the sunstone. They were a tapestry of the village's spirit, woven from threads of courage, wisdom, and hope. Each carried the weight of their mission with a solemn pride, inspired by Iliana's tales and driven by the promise of bringing sunlight to their world. Before them lay the enchanted forest, a realm of magic and mystery that bordered their village, marking the first leg of their journey. Beyond it, the mountain of reflection loomed, its peak hidden in the clouds, a silent guardian of the sunstone. Iliana, standing before the group, her scales shimmering in the half-light, imparted her final words of wisdom. "Remember," she said, her voice steady and imbued with the warmth of countless sunrises, "the path ahead is not just a physical journey, but a journey of the heart. Let the virtues of patience, unity, and courage be your guides. The forest will test you. The mountain will reflect you, but within you lies the strength to overcome." With a collective breath, the group stepped forward, crossing the threshold into the enchanted forest. The trees welcomed them with whisper, their leaves rustling with the secrets of the forest. The path, though hidden under a canopy of intertwining branches, seemed to unfold before them, as if the forest itself was guiding their steps. The journey through the enchanted forest was a test of their resolve. Shadows danced between the trees, and strange, luminous eyes watched from the darkness, testing their courage. Yet, with each step, the group found strength in their unity, facing the mysteries of the forest with a steadfast heart. As they journeyed deeper, the forest revealed its wonders, streams that sang with the voices of the past, flowers that glowed with the light of the stars, and creatures of myth that observed from a distance. Each encounter was a lesson in the magic that lay hidden in the world, a magic that was now a part of their quest. The days passed, each one a step closer to the mountain, each night a reminder of the twilight they sought to dispel. Their journey was not without challenges, paths that led in circles, bridges that spanned bottomless chasms, and puzzles woven from the very essence of the forest tested their wisdom and patience. Yet, it was in these challenges that the group found their strength. The swiftest among them scouted the path ahead, the wisest deciphered the secrets of the forest, and the bravest protected them from the shadows that lurked in the depths. Together, they moved forward, a single unit bound by a common purpose. One evening, as they camped under the watchful gaze of the star, the group reflected on the journey so far. They shared stories of the day's trials, of moments of fear and triumph, and of the lessons learned beneath the canopy of the enchanted forest. It was in these moments of shared vulnerability and laughter that their bond deepened, a bond that would be their greatest strength in the trials to come. As the first rays of dawn pierced the canopy, marking the end of their journey through the enchanted forest, the group stood at the edge of the forest, the mountain of reflection now before them. Its peak bathed in the light of the sun. They longed to see. The forest behind them, with its mysteries and magic, had prepared them for this moment, forging them into a fellowship of light. With the wisdom of Iguana echoing in their hearts, the group took their first steps towards the mountain, their spirits lifted by the knowledge that each step was a step closer to the sunstone, to the promise of sunlight, and to the dawn of a new day for their village. As the fellowship ventured deeper into the heart of the enchanted forest, the world around them seemed to pulse with an ancient magic, alive with the whispers of a time long past. The forest, with its tangled canopy and shadowed paths, was a realm where the fabric of the mundane and the magical intertwined, challenging the group with obstacles that tested their mettle and unity. One day, as the sun fought to pierce the dense foliage, casting a kaleidoscope of light and shadow upon the forest floor, the group encountered a clearing. Within it, a creature of legend awaited them, a griffin with the body of a lion and the wings and head of an eagle, its gaze piercing and proud. The griffin, guardian of the forest's heart, challenged the group, its voice echoing with the authority of the forest itself. To pass beyond this point, the griffin declared, "You must prove your courage and your resolve. Only those who can face their fears and stand united in the face of adversity might proceed." The group, though initially daunted, found strength in each other's presence. They recounted tales of their village, of the twilight that enveloped their lives, and of their quest for the sunstone. Their voices, woven together in a tapestry of hope and determination, softened the griffin's gaze. "Your journey is noble, and your hearts are true," the griffin conceded, stepping aside to let them pass. "Remember, true courage is not the absence of fear, but the will to face it." The encounter with the griffin taught them the value of courage, not as individuals, but as a collective force, united in purpose and spirit. It was a lesson they carried with them as they ventured further into the forest's embrace. Not long after, the fellowship found themselves at the edge of a vast lake, its waters as still and clear as glass. Here, they met the naiads, water nymphs whose laughter danced upon the air like the ripple of waves. The naiads presented them with a challenge of timing and harmony, inviting them to cross the lake on stepping stones that appeared and disappeared with the whimsy of the water itself. To reach the other side, the naiads sang, "You must move as one, in rhythm with the heart of the lake. Only then will the path reveal itself." With careful steps and a unity born of shared challenges, the group synchronized their movements, attuning themselves to the subtle flow of the lake's magic. Together, they crossed the water, each step a testament to their growing bond and their understanding of timing, not just as a measure of moments, but as a harmony with the world around them. The final trial within the depths of the enchanted forest came in the form of a great chasm, spanned by a bridge that appeared insubstantial, made of light and shadow. Here, they were met by the sylvans, spirits of the trees, who whispered of companionship and trust. "The bridge will hold," the sylvans murmured, "but only for those who tread with faith in each other. Doubt, and the bridge will falter." Hand in hand, their trust in one another, their only assurance, the fellowship crossed the chasm, With each step, the bridge solidified under their feet, a manifestation of their collective faith and the bonds they had forged on their journey. Emerging from the enchanted forest, the fellowship was transformed. The challenges they had faced, the griffin's test of courage, the naiad's lesson in timing, and the sylvan's trial of trust, had honed their spirits and deepened their connection. They were no longer just a group of villagers on a quest. They were a united front, ready to face the looming trials of the mountain of reflection. The enchanted forest, with its magical encounters, had prepared them for what lay ahead, teaching them that the greatest challenges are overcome not by strength alone, but by the virtues of courage, timing, and companionship. After emerging from the verdant embrace of the enchanted forest, the fellowship stood before the mountain of reflection. Its slopes, shrouded in mist and mystery, rose before them, a silent sentinel guarding the path to the sunstone. The mountain, known in legends as a place where the heart's true nature was revealed, awaited to test their resolve and commitment to their quest. The ascent began at dawn, the mountain path winding through mists that seemed to whisper secrets of old. The air grew cooler, and the world beyond the mist faded away, leaving only the path forward and the bond the fellowship shared. Here, in the quietude of the mountain, each step seemed to echo with the weight of their thoughts and fears. As they climbed higher, the mountain revealed its true nature. Mirrors, as ancient as the mountain itself, appeared along the path, each reflecting not just the image of those who stood before it, but the depths of their hearts. These were the reflections of their doubts, their fears, and the parts of themselves they had yet to confront. One by one, the members of the fellowship faced their mirrors. A young villager, whose swift feet had always carried him away from his fears, saw himself bound to the ground, unable to run. He understood then that true courage meant standing firm, facing what comes with a steady heart rather than fleeing. Another, the village weaver, saw her threads tangled and knotted, a reflection of her inner turmoil and doubt. Through the mirror, she learned that patience and perseverance, the very essence of her craft, were the keys to untangling the knots of her heart. The elder, who had once doubted the possibility of change, saw his reflection standing alone, apart from the village he loved. It was a powerful reminder that belief in others and the embrace of new ideas were what truly kept a community together. With each reflection faced, the mirrors shattered, not with violence, but with the gentle sound of falling snow, leaving behind a path cleared of doubt and fear. It was a trial unlike any other, a journey within that tested their resolve and commitment to the quest for the sunstone. As the fellowship ascended the final stretch of the mountain, the path grew steeper and the air thinner, but their hearts were lighter. The trials of the mountain of reflection had stripped away the veils of doubt and fear, revealing the strength and unity that had been forged in the fires of their journey. At last, they reached the summit, where the clouds parted to reveal a sky of such depth and clarity it took their breath away. There, at the peak, stood the entrance to the Cave of Whispers, the final guardian of the Sunstone. The fellowship paused, taking a moment to reflect on the journey that had brought them here, on the edge of achieving what had once seemed an impossible dream. They understood now that the mountain of reflection was not just a barrier to the Sunstone, but a gift. It had shown them that the greatest challenges were not those that lay on the path ahead, but those that resided within. By facing their reflections, they had discovered the depth of their courage, the strength of the unity, and the resolve that would carry them through the final leg of their quest. With hearts fortified by the trials they had overcome, the fellowship stepped forward into the Cave of Whispers, ready to face whatever mysteries lay within and to claim the Sunstone, not just for their village, but as a testament to the journey that had transformed them. As the fellowship entered the Cave of Whispers, a hush fell over them, the kind of silence that presses in on the ears and quickens the heart. The air was thick with anticipation, charged with ancient magic that pulsed from the walls, the ground, the very air they breathed. This was the sanctum of the Sunstone, a place of power where the echoes of the past and the whispers of the future intertwine. The cave stretched before them, its passages winding and intricate, lit by a soft, ethereal glow that seemed to emanate from the stone itself. The whispers began almost immediately, voices as faint as a breeze, carrying words of encouragement, doubt, and wisdom. These were the guardians of the Sunstone, spirits bound to the cave, tasked with testing the hearts of those who sought the gem's light. The fellowship moved cautiously, guided by the lessons of their journey. They knew that the whispers sought to test their resolve, to separate them with doubt and fear. But the trials of the mountain of reflection had taught them the strength of unity, the power of facing one's fears, and the importance of perseverance. As they delved deeper into the cave, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. Each member of the fellowship faced their own challenge, a personal trial whispered directly into their hearts. For some, it was the temptation of power, the promise of wishes fulfilled if they turned back now. For others, it was the voice of fear, painting visions of failure and loss. Yet, with each step, the fellowship held firm. They supported one another, sharing the burden of doubt and fear, their bond a beacon that guided them through the darkness. The trials of the cave were not just tests of individual strength, but of their collective spirit, a spirit that had been forged in the depths of the enchanted forest and on the slopes of the mountain of reflection. Finally, they reached the heart of the cave, where the whispers fell silent. Before them stood a pedestal, and upon it, bathed in a shaft of light that seemed to pierce the mountain itself, lay the Sunstone. Its surface was a riot of colors, each facet glowing with the captured light of 1,000 sunrises and suns. The group approached, awestruck by the beauty and power that radiated from the stone. Yet, as they reached out, a final guardian appeared, a being of light, its form shifting and changing, a reflection of the sun itself. You have faced the trials of the cave, shown courage, unity, and the strength of your hearts. The guardian spoke, its voice a melody that resonated with the very essence of light. But to claim the Sunstone, you must prove that your quest is not for personal gain, but for the greater good, for the light of all. The fellowship spoke as one, their voices intertwining to form a single, unwavering declaration of their intent. They spoke of their village, shrouded in twilight, of their people's longing for the sun's warmth, and of their journey, not for power or glory, but for hope and change. Satisfied, the guardian stepped aside, and the fellowship took the Sunstone, its light enveloping them in a warm embrace. In that moment, they knew that their quest was complete, but their journey was far from over. As they left the Cave of Whispers, the Sunstone in hand, the fellowship felt the weight of their responsibility. They had faced the trials of the enchanted forest, the mountain, and the cave, emerging not just as victors, but as bearers of light. The journey back to their village lay ahead, a journey to bring the dawn to their people and to share the lessons of courage, unity, and hope they had learned along the way. With the Sunstone now in their possession, the fellowship gathered at the mouth of the Cave of Whispers, the weight of their journey reflected in their eyes. They stood not just as a group of villagers who had set out on a quest, but as bearers of a new dawn, united by a bond that had been tested by magic, mystery, and the depths of their own hearts. The journey back to the village began under the watchful gaze of the setting stars, the first hint of dawn painting the horizon with strokes of promise. The Sunstone, secure in their midst, seemed to pulse with a gentle warmth, its light a constant reminder of the unity and perseverance that had led them to this moment. As they descended the mountain of reflection, the lessons of their journey echoed in their steps. They had learned the power of courage in the face of fear, the strength found in unity, and the importance of confronting one's own reflections. The enchanted forest, with its magical creatures and trials, had taught them the value of timing, companionship, and the harmony that exists between all living things. Now, with the sunstone in hand, they understood that the true essence of their quest was not just the acquisition of the stone, but the transformation that had occurred within each of them. They had become guardians of the light, tasked with bringing the warmth of the sun to a village that had known only twilight. The journey back was marked by reflection and anticipation. They shared stories of their encounters, laughed at the memory of challenges overcome, and marveled at the beauty of the world that unfolded before them. In the light of the approaching dawn, the forest, once a place of mystery and trial, now seemed to celebrate their passage, its creatures and spirits acknowledging the depth of their achievement. As they neared the village, the first rays of the sun touched the horizon, casting a golden glow over the land. It was a sight many of them had only imagined, a vision made real by their courage and unity. The sunstone, responding to the light of dawn, began to glow with a radiant brilliance, its light a beacon that pierced the twilight that had enveloped their village for so long. The villagers, drawn by the light and the return of their fellow villagers, gathered to welcome them home. The fellowship, standing before their people, held the sunstone aloft, its light bathing the village in a warmth that many had never felt before. The elder, his eyes reflecting the light of the sunstone, stepped forward. "You have brought us more than the light of the sun," he said, his voice resonant with emotion. "You have brought us hope, unity, and the promise of a new dawn. The lessons of your journey, the courage, the wisdom, and the strength you have shown will be our guiding light as we step into this new day together." The acquisition of the sunstone was not just the end of their quest, but the beginning of a new chapter for the village. The fellowship, through their journey, had not only secured the light of the sun, but had also ignited a flame within their community, a flame that would burn brightly, fueled by the lessons of courage, unity, and hope they had brought back with them. As the village celebrated the return of the light, the fellowship knew that their quest was complete. They had faced the unknown, overcome trials of heart and spirit, and had returned not just as heroes, but as harbingers of a new era, where the warmth of the sun and the light within each of them would guide their path forward. As the fellowship made their way back to the village, the sunstone cradled among them like the heart of the sunrise itself. A palpable sense of anticipation and joy enveloped them. They were not just returning with the promise of light, they were bringing back a new dawn, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of unity. The village, once shrouded in the perpetual gloom of twilight, was now touched by the first rays of the sun, painting the rooftops and the cobblestone paths in hues of gold and amber. The villagers, who had gathered to welcome their heroes, watched in awe as the fellowship approached, the sunstone glowing with an inner light that mirrored the dawn's embrace. The elder, his eyes brimming with tears of joy, stepped forward to meet them. "You have returned not just with the sunstone," he proclaimed, his voice carrying across the gathered crowd, "but with the dawn of a new era for our village. Your journey has brought us the warmth of the sun, but more importantly, it has illuminated the strength and courage that resides within us all." As the fellowship recounted their adventures, from the enchanted depths of the forest to the reflective challenges of the mountain, and the whispered secrets of the cave, the villagers listened, captivated by the tale of transformation. The stories of magical creatures, ancient guardians, and the trials that tested their resolve and unity resonated with every heart, stirring a sense of wonder and hope. With the sunstone placed at the center of the village square, its light began to radiate, casting away the last shadows of twilight. The villagers, bathed in the warmth of the sun for the first time, felt its embrace, a gentle reminder of the new beginnings that lay ahead. Children laughed and danced in the light, their shadows playing across the ground, while the elders, who had longed for this moment, shared smiles of gratitude and relief. The village, once defined by the absence of sunlight, was now aglow, its future bright and promising. The fellowship, standing together in the village square, watched as their community came alive in the light of the sunstone. They realized that their quest had been more than a journey to bring back the sun. It had been a journey of discovery, of facing fears, embracing unity, and finding strength in one another. As the day wore on, the celebration continued, with stories shared, laughter ringing through the air, and plans for the future discussed under the warmth of the sun. The fellowship, once ordinary villagers, were now seen as the bearers of light, their courage and determination, inspiring a new generation to dream of possibilities beyond the horizon. As the sun set on this remarkable day, casting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and purple, the village gathered once more. Together, they watched as the day gave way to night, not with a sense of loss, but with the knowledge that the dawn would come again. Thanks to the sunstone and the brave souls who had brought it home, the return of the fellowship marked not just the physical return of the sunstone, but a deeper, more profound transformation within the village. They had not only reclaimed the light of the sun, but had also kindled a light within themselves, a light of hope, unity, and a shared vision for a brighter future. And so, as the stars twinkled in the night sky, the village slept peacefully, secure in the knowledge that the darkness was no longer eternal, that the warmth of the sun would greet them each morning, and that the dawn of a new era had begun, thanks to the courage and unity of the fellowship that had returned home. The transformation of the village, with the sunstone now resting at the heart of the village, nestled within the village square where all paths converged, a miraculous transformation began to unfold. The stone, a radiant embodiment of the sun's warmth and light, began to emanate a glow that touched every corner, every shadowed alley, and every humble dwelling with its gentle luminescence. As days passed, the villagers observed in awe as the perpetual twilight that had once defined their existence slowly receded, giving way to a haven of sunlight. The once dim colors of their world now bloomed with vibrancy, revealing hues and shades long forgotten or never before seen. The flowers in their gardens, which had grown accustomed to the twilight, now unfurled their petals with newfound vigor, basking in the warmth of the sunstone's glow. The transformation was not just a physical one. The light of the sunstone brought with it a warmth that seeped into the hearts of the villagers, kindling within them a sense of hope and joy that many had not felt in their lifetimes. The village square, once a place of silent gatherings and subdued conversation, now thrummed with life and laughter. Children played in the light, their laughter ringing clear and bright, while the elders shared stories of the days before the twilight, their tales now infused with the promise of a brighter future. Craftsmen and artisans found new inspiration in the light, their work taking on new dimensions as they explored colors and designs that were once beyond their imagination. The weavers wove fabrics that shimmered in the sunlight, their threads capturing the very essence of the dawn and dusk, while the painters captured the beauty of their transforming world on canvas, their art a testament to the village's renaissance. The farmers, too, felt the sunstone's benevolence. Their crops, once stunted by the lack of sunlight, now flourished, yielding harvests that were bountiful and rich. The fields, a patchwork of green and gold, swayed in the gentle breeze, a sight that filled the villagers' hearts with gratitude and pride. But the transformation extended beyond the tangible. The light of the sunstone rekindled the villagers' connection to the natural world, reminding them of the harmony that exists between all living things. They began to take greater care of their surroundings, planting trees and flowers, restoring streams and ponds, their efforts guided by a newfound respect for nature and its cycles. As the village transformed, so too did the villagers' perception of themselves and their place in the world. They began to see themselves not as mere inhabitants of a twilight-bound village, but as stewards of a vibrant community, blessed by the light of the sunstone. The sense of unity and purpose that had driven the fellowship on their quest now permeated every aspect of village life, fostering a spirit of collaboration and mutual support. The sunstone, in its silent vigil at the heart of the village, had become more than just a source of light. It was a symbol of the villagers' journey from the shadows into the light, a beacon of hope, unity, and transformation. Its power lay not just in the warmth and light it provided, but in the way it had illuminated the path to a better, brighter future for the village and its people. As the village basked in the sunstone's glow, the villagers knew that they stood on the threshold of a new era, an era where the warmth of the sun was matched by the warmth in their hearts, where the light of day was a canvas for their dreams and aspirations, and where the darkness of night was no longer a veil of shadows, but a time of rest and renewal, embraced with gratitude and peace. The transformation of the village was a testament to the power of hope, the strength of unity, and the enduring light of the human spirit, forever changed by the return of the sunlight, thanks to the courage and determination of those who had dared to dream. In the golden warmth of a sun-drenched afternoon, with the village basking in the newfound light of the sunstone, Iguana, the iguana whose wisdom had guided the villagers through the shadows into the light, gathered her friends and neighbors for one final sharing of insights. The village square, a vibrant tapestry of life and color, was filled with the faces of those who had journeyed together, both in spirit and in truth, towards this moment of transformation. "I have watched you all grow," Iguana began, her voice carrying the gentle warmth of the sun itself, not just in the light of the sunstone, but in the light of understanding, compassion, and unity. "You have shown that the true strength of a community lies not in the absence of darkness, but in the courage to seek out the light together." She moved gracefully among them, her scales reflecting the sunlight in dazzling patterns, a living embodiment of the lessons she imparted. "The sunstone has brought us daylight, but it is the light within each of you that has truly transformed our village. This light, the light of internal growth and shared purpose, is the most powerful force of all." Iguana spoke of the importance of nurturing this internal light, of fostering growth not just in the fields and garden, but within the hearts and minds of every villager. "Embrace change," she urged, "for it is in the heart of change that we find our true selves. The world around us is ever shifting, ever growing, and so too must we." The villagers listened, captivated by Iguana's words, feeling the truth of her teachings resonate within them. She spoke of the interconnectedness of all life, of the harmony that exists when individuals come together in support of a common goal. "Community," Iguana said, "is the soil in which the seeds of individual dreams are nurtured into reality. It is the shelter in which we find warmth and protection, and the foundation upon which we build a better world." As the sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Iguana shared her final piece of wisdom: the courage to embrace change is the courage to face the unknown with an open heart. It is the understanding that growth requires not just sunlight, but the nourishing rains of challenge and adversity. Be brave, dear friends, for it is in your bravery that you will find the strength to continue growing, to continue shining, even when the path ahead is uncertain. The villagers, moved by Ileana's words, gathered around her, their hearts full of gratitude and love. They understood that Ileana's teachings were not just lessons to be remembered, but principles to be lived by, guiding lights for the journey that lay ahead. As the day gave way to night, and the stars began to twinkle in the velvet sky, the village felt different, transformed not just by the physical light of the sunstone, but by the inner light that Ileana had ignited within them. It was a light of hope, of unity, and of endless possibilities, a light that would guide them through whatever the future held. Ileana's final teachings, a testament to the power of internal growth, community, and the courage to embrace change, were etched into the heart of the village, a legacy that would continue to inspire and guide generations to come. The transformation of the village was not just a tale of light conquering darkness, but a story of hearts and minds open to the beauty of life's ever-changing canvas, forever changed by the wisdom of an iguana who had dared to dream. In the heart of the village, now bathed in the gentle warmth and radiant light of the sunstone, the villagers gathered to celebrate their newfound dawn. Among them stood the elder, a figure once cloaked in skepticism and doubt, his eyes now reflecting the light of change and understanding that had swept through their community. As the sun dipped low, casting long shadows and painting the sky in brilliant hues of gold and crimson, the elder stepped forward, his voice, once firm with the weight of tradition and resistance to change, now carried a softer, more reflective tone. "My friends," he began, his gaze sweeping over the faces of his fellow villagers, "I stand before you today, a man humbled by the journey we have embarked upon together. I was once blind to the possibilities that lay beyond our twilight, bound by my own doubts and fears." He paused, his eyes finding Ileana's, the Iguana, whose wisdom and courage had ignited the spark of change within their hearts. Ileana, and the brave souls who journeyed with her, have shown us that the light we sought was not just in the sunstone, but within each of us. They have taught us the power of patience, the depth of wisdom, and the strength found in unity. The elder's voice grew stronger, more assured as he continued, "I was wrong to doubt the possibility of change, to question the value of the lessons Ileana brought to us. It is with a heart full of gratitude and respect that I apologize, not just to Ileana, but to all of you for my reluctance to embrace the journey towards the light." The villagers listened, moved by the elder's words, witnessing a transformation not just of their village, but of a heart once closed to the promise of a new dawn. The elder, embodying the very lessons of patience and understanding he had once questioned, stood as a testament to the power of personal growth and the ability to change. Ileana has taught us that it is never too late to learn, to grow, and to open our hearts to the possibilities that life offers, the elder continued, his voice imbued with emotion. She has reminded us that our village, our community, is a living entity, capable of transformation and growth, guided by the collective light of our spirits. As he concluded his apology, the villagers, including Ileana, stepped forward, their actions speaking louder than words. In a moment of unity and forgiveness, they surrounded the elder, their presence a physical manifestation of the community's strength and the collective journey towards a brighter future. The elder, surrounded by his villagers, felt the warmth of the sunstone's light envelop him, a symbolic embrace that marked the shedding of old doubts and the welcoming of new beginnings. In this circle of light and unity, the villagers found not just forgiveness, but a deeper connection to one another, a bond forged through the shared experience of transformation and renewal. The elders' apology, a moment of vulnerability and truth, became a cornerstone of the village's new era. It was a reminder that wisdom is not just the accumulation of years, but the willingness to embrace change, to learn from one another, and to move forward together into the light. As the sun set and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, the village, illuminated by the gentle glow of the sunstone, stood as a beacon of hope, unity, and the enduring power of community, forever changed by the journey from twilight to dawn. Under the radiant glow of the sunstone, now a symbol of their collective triumph and newfound dawn, the villagers prepared for a celebration unlike any their village had seen before. The Festival of Sunlight was to be a grand testament to their journey, a reflection of the unity and hope that now thrummed through the heart of their community. The village square, bathed in the warm, gentle light of the sunstone, was transformed into a vibrant stage for the festival. Colorful banners and ribbons danced in the breeze, their hues more vivid under the touch of sunlight. Tables laden with the bounty of their harvests lined the paths, showcasing the fruits of their labor, now flourishing under the sun's benevolent gaze. As the day of the festival dawned, the air filled with the melodies of flutes and drums, the rhythms of the village's heartbeat. Artisans displayed their crafts, now vibrant with colors inspired by the sunlight, while storytellers wove tales of their journey from the twilight into the light, their words painting pictures of courage, perseverance, and the power of change. Children, their laughter, a melody of joy and freedom, chased each other through the square, their games infused with the magic of the sunlight. Elders, their faces creased with smiles, shared stories with the younger generation, their narratives a bridge between the past and the promise of the future. At the center of the square, near the sunstone, a circle was formed by the villagers, hand in hand, their faces turned towards the sky as the elder, now a beacon of wisdom and change, began to speak. Today we celebrate not just the return of the sun to our village, he said, his voice resonant with emotion, but the journey that brought us here. We celebrate the unity that has become the bedrock of our community, and the hope that lights our path forward. The festival continued into the evening, the setting sun casting long shadows that danced alongside the villagers. As night fell, lanterns lit the square, their gentle glow a mirror of the stars above. The villagers, gathered around the sunstone, watched as it pulsed with light, a heartbeat of the village, a constant reminder of their journey and the lessons learned. Iguana, the Iguana whose wisdom had guided them, moved through the crowd, her heart full as she witnessed the joy and unity of the village. This light, she whispered to those around her, is a testament to your strength, your courage to embrace change, and the boundless possibilities that await when we stand together. The Festival of Sunlight was more than a celebration. It was a declaration of the village's rebirth, a commitment to the values of unity, hope, and the endless pursuit of growth. It was a promise to honor the lessons of the past, to cherish the light of the present, and to forge a future bright with possibility. As the festival drew to a close, the villagers returned to their homes, their hearts aglow with the warmth of the sunstone and the bonds that united them. The village, once veiled in twilight, now shone with the light of 1,000 suns, a beacon of hope and a testament to the enduring power of community and the transformative journey from darkness into light. As the Festival of Sunlight drew to a close, casting long warm shadows across the village that had become a haven of light, Iguana, the Iguana, whose wisdom had led them through darkness into dawn, knew her time with the villagers was nearing its end. The sunstone's glow, a beacon of their collective triumph, illuminated her scales, casting prismatic patterns on the ground, a final dance of light and color. Gathering the villagers once more in the village square, beneath the benevolent gaze of the sunstone, Iguana prepared to share her parting words. The air was filled with a bittersweet anticipation, for Iguana had become more than a guide. She was a cherished friend, a symbol of the journey they had all undertaken. "My dear friends," Iguana began, her voice imbued with the warmth and calm that had so often comforted and inspired them. "Our journey together has been one of transformation and discovery. We have journeyed from the twilight into the light, learning the lessons of patience, courage, and unity." She moved among them, her presence a soothing balm, as she continued, "But my time with you is now at an end. The sunstone shines brightly, a testament to your strength and the light within each of you. It is time for me to journey onward, to spread the wisdom of the sun far beyond the borders of our village." The villagers listened, their hearts heavy with the thought of her departure, yet filled with gratitude for the lessons she had imparted. Iguana's teachings had awakened within them a new way of seeing the world, a new understanding of their place within it. "I leave you with a final charge," Iguana said, her gaze sweeping over the faces before her, "a light with the promise of new beginnings. Let the light of the sunstone not only be a beacon for our village, but a symbol of the wisdom to be shared with the world beyond. Spread the lessons of the sun, of patience, timing, unity, and the courage to embrace change. Let these teachings illuminate the path for others, just as they have illuminated ours." The elder, once a skeptic, now stood as a testament to the power of change and growth. He stepped forward, his voice strong and clear. "Iguana, your wisdom has transformed our village, teaching us to see beyond the darkness, to find the light within ourselves and each other. We will honor your legacy by living the lessons you have taught us and sharing them with all who seek the warmth of the sun." The villagers, united in their gratitude and respect for Iguana, pledged to uphold her teachings, to nurture the light of the sunstone, and to share the wisdom of their journey with the world. Iguana, her heart full, knew that her legacy was secure, entrusted to those whose lives she had touched. As dawn broke the next day, casting the first light of the new dawn on the village, Iguana took her leave, her departure marked not by sadness, but by the promise of hope and the continuation of her teachings. The villagers watched as she journeyed into the horizon, her silhouette a part of the landscape that had been forever changed by her presence. Iguana's legacy, like the light of a sunstone, would continue to shine brightly, guiding the villagers in their path forward. It was a legacy of wisdom, courage, and unity, a beacon of hope for a world in need of the light. And so, as the villagers returned to their daily lives, they did so with a renewed sense of purpose, committed to living the lessons of the Iguana who had taught them to embrace the light, to cherish the warmth of the sun, and to share the wisdom of their journey far and wide. In the village once shrouded in perpetual twilight, a new dawn had indeed broken. The sunstone, nestled at the heart of the village square, continued to bathe the community in its warm, gentle light, a constant reminder of the journey from darkness into light and the enduring wisdom of Iguana, the Iguana who had guided them through it all. The transformation of the village was profound, touching every aspect of life. The villagers, now living under the benevolent glow of the sunstone, had embraced the lessons of patience, unity, and courage, integrating them into the fabric of their daily lives. The once dim colors of their world now shone with vibrancy, reflecting the richness of their newfound perspective. The fields and gardens, flourishing under the sun's warmth, yielded bountiful harvests that fed not just the bodies, but the spirits of the community. Artisans and craftsmen found new inspiration in the light, creating works that spoke of hope, resilience, and the beauty of transformation. The stories of their journey, passed down from elders to the young, became a cherished legacy, a narrative of triumph over adversity. But the new dawn was not just a time of abundance and creativity. It was a time of deepened connections. The villagers, united by their shared experience, fostered a sense of community stronger than any before. The square, once a place of quiet gatherings, now thrived as the heart of village life, a place where laughter and music filled the air, where every festival and celebration was a testament to their collective journey. The wisdom of Iguana, though she had departed, lived on in every act of kindness, in every decision made with patience and understanding, and in the continued commitment to spread the lessons of the sun far beyond the village borders. The villagers, recognizing the power of their story, welcomed travelers and seekers, sharing with them the warmth of the sunstone and the tale of their transformation. As the village prospered, it became a beacon of hope for surrounding communities, a living example of the power of unity and the possibility of change. Delegations from distant lands, drawn by tales of the village that had found the light, came to witness the miracle of the sunstone and to learn from the villagers' experience. The new dawn was, therefore, not just the awakening of the village to the sunlight, but the awakening of a wider consciousness to the potential for renewal and growth. The legacy of the Iguana, once a solitary figure against the twilight, had grown into a collective movement towards a brighter future, inspired by the principles of harmony, wisdom, and the courage to embrace change. As years passed, the village, once hidden in the shadows, stood proud under the open sky, its people living embodiments of the light they had sought. The sunstone, their eternal guide, reminded them not only of the darkness they had overcome, but of the continuous journey towards enlightenment and understanding. The new dawn in the village was a dawn of endless horizons, of dreams realized and yet to be discovered, a testament to the enduring legacy of the iguana's insight and the collective journey of its people. It was a story of transformation, not just of a place but of hearts and minds, a narrative that would inspire generations to come, a beacon of light in a world ever in need of hope. And so, the village thrived, a vibrant tapestry woven from the threads of their shared journey, a community forever bathed in the light of a new dawn, their eyes always on the horizon, ready for the next chapter in their story of growth, unity, and endless possibilities.